Hey everyone, Matt here with another Mass Effect video to talk to you guys about the races of Andromeda, both natives and those travelling from the Milky Way. Like a few of my recent videos, this discussion will be an incorporation of the overall community views as well as my own. Spoilers will occur throughout for all the games, and let's kick off this video. Andromeda brought us a couple of new races, but only one of which was essentially friendly, and this was the Angara. Aside from the fact that we did have the Ket and Remnant, but one of which is a race of machines, and the other simply travelled to the Helios cluster, similar to how the Initiative did. Whilst fans have always loved the Turians, Asari and Solarians, and whilst they have had a larger impact on the trilogy in past games and other races, many were disappointed upon release that some of their minor favourites weren't included, as well as many other things, but that's not what this video is really about. One issue some fans have complained about is the lack of races making an appearance in Andromeda. Sure, the main races from the Milky Way showed up, and the Angara weren't necessarily a bad new race, but there were so many that simply weren't in the game. The Quarians, Drell, Hanar and Elcor are all rumoured to be making their way on the Quarian arc to Andromeda in a possible coming DLC, whether that's happening or not. While that annoyed some fans, it personally hasn't annoyed me, unless it was something extracted from the game already just to make money in the form of DLC. But I don't really think this is the case, as I believe it's either not being created yet or is under development. The sound of a Quarian DLC is intriguing, but it's disappointing how all the other races missing from the Milky Way are on this arc and not one that arrived in Helios sooner, like the Natanis or Parchero or even the Nexus. The lack of races in Andromeda wasn't necessarily a big issue about the game, but little details do matter. The sheer number of Angara on pretty much every planet also made it get to the point where they seem pretty dull near the end of the game. And whilst this is expected due to them being native to the galaxy, one extra race besides the Angara, or friendly race, or species like the Drell or Hanar returning to Andromeda should have been available from release date. Director Tan states that the Quarian arc was experiencing issues and was under repairs, hence scheduled to make a later arrival date to Andromeda, seen as part of the second wave of the Andromeda Initiative. But why couldn't this just have been the Quarians? Otherwise, all the races appearing after this DLC may have very little impact on the rest of the game, and the appearances of these races may not resolve this slight issue I'm discussing. Let's suppose this DLC is still being released and is coming soon. If we bought this DLC, would we notice Hanar or Drell around the Nexus or around the planets earlier in the game, after supposedly rescuing the Ark from whatever problem they have hit in the new galaxy? So let's talk a little more about whether the Angara alone was enough for fans to sink their teeth into. And if you want to learn more in detail about the Angara, we have covered a lore video devoted to them specifically on our channel for you to check out. Now the Angara may be mammalian in design and nothing wacky or too adventurous in appearance, but their history, biology and religion don't hold too many similarities to what we've seen before. This is a needed feature to a new race to keep them interesting, and that's why I personally enjoyed the Angara and the process of learning more about them. As mentioned before, one issue fans had with the Angara is the decline in how interesting they were across a long time frame. The Angara were everywhere in Andromeda, and if you are someone that either enjoyed Andromeda or are a completionist, therefore completing all the side missions, then the playthroughs you complete means you'll devote a lot of time to the game, and after a while, the Angara got progressively more boring. Being someone that played the original trilogy to death, I never found this to be the case with the races of the Milky Way because there were so many new ones. There weren't Hanar or Vulture on every planet, for example. So again, a solution to this would have been to have put the time and detail into creating a new Andromedan race, or to have included several more races aboard the Nexus. And by that means, Ryder is then exploring the galaxy with different and more alien races across the planets. So this video has been pretty short, but there's not an awful lot you can talk about as of yet, until we are maybe treated to some more races in the game. I'm hoping that the Quarry and Art DLC will be released one day, and that all our minor favourite races appear in high numbers and play some sort of role or are found across the outposts. I'm not going to really talk about the 2 Batarians that somehow made it into the game to be able to include a Batarian multiplayer character, as that feels like it has no impact on single player and seems a bit crazy in the idea anyway. But I wanted to make this video as it felt odd that in an entire galaxy where there is no Reaper harvest, that there is only one friendly race despite the galaxy being huge. Yet alternatively, it's the exact opposite in the Milky Way. So what's your view about the Angara, and whether they were enough alone to fill up Andromeda? Let us know your view in the comments below. If you have a similar view, or you just enjoyed this video, then send a like our way, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more content. Let us know what videos you would like to see in the future, or any ideas you may have, and we hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye everyone.